horizontal version formula. No, no, no. Oh, you've got it as well. That star's in the wrong place. It goes there. How many people do?
I had it, but I changed it, so you had to tell us wrong.
He's got it.
You told us the top two when we were.
These two. And so I'm asking you for this one now. Total revenue equals plus variable cost plus operating income. See, this is why review is good. We get notes fixed. Review is good. Don't you think review is good? Plus, for you all, I mean, you've had 3 snow days. So you're already trying to forget this stuff, and we need to make sure you remember. So Christy, why do we use those? Under what circumstances do I suggest using the horizontal formulas, which is a useful piece of information, is it not? Yeah, under what circumstances do I suggest?
When you can't use the other ones.
That was validated.
When you can't use the other ones? And what are those circumstances?
I don't know.
If you like the horizontal one and want to memorize less, you can actually do all the problems using just the horizontal one. But it, I mean, they're mathematically equivalent. That's what the rest of the stuff is on the page. What was your question or comment or concern?
I was going to answer.
Please.
It's when you need to reach a goal. It's when you're given the unit.
We're getting, ooh, who said, I heard the percentage? What about percentages? I like that word.
When you're looking for a percentage of sales.
When operating income is expressed as a percent, not as a dollar amount. When desired operating income is expressed as a percent, not as a dollar amount, I suggest using the horizontal versions. Okay? I suggest using the horizontal versions. Because the math just, is easier. If you're really, really, really good at math, you can use the fractional one, but when you got fractional things with unknowns, it gets really messy mathematically. So Christy, when do we use the horizontal versions?
When do we use what?
When do we use the horizontal formulas?
When income is expressed as a percent.
Yes, when income is expressed as a percent. You getting your calendar worked out?
Well, no, 'cause I just thought of something I had to write down, so I was going to forget it if I don't.
I understand. That's why I always have you all email me when you want me to remember something. So that's break even, break even. How do you calculate margin of safety? Angie. Margin of safety in dollars.
The total revenue minus break even, is that right?
Revenue, yes. Total revenue minus break even revenue. Mr. Roberts, how do you calculate margin of safety ratio? See, that's something she's not going to have to memorize for the test. She's already got it. David, margin of safety ratio.
Actual revenue minus break-even revenue divided by the actual revenue.
Yes, actual revenue minus break-even revenue divided by actual revenue. And then there's also a couple of other little formulas there too. I mean, the whole net income before tax, the whole net income after tax. Operating income, is it before or after tax? Before tax. So everything you plug into a break-even formula needs to be before tax. I, in my entire life, have never memorized that formula. I just kind of wiggle into, you can kind of algebraically wiggle into it given the information. So if you can kind of figure out the wiggling, then you don't need to memorize. So that's a formula I've never personally memorized in my entire life. Because you know it's number times percent equals tax, you know? And so you know how the whole tax thing works. And so if that formula is helpful, memorize it, use it. If you can figure out how to get by without it, do that as well. If you like the sock and the shoe, use that. If you're like Tony and do not, don't. Because, I mean, you can do it either. You can do it lots of different ways and still get to the right answer. It's one of the beautiful things, absolutely stunningly gorgeous things about cost and managerial accounting. And you don't look like you're really impressed. She does not look like she's really impressed by that stunning beauty that is cost and managerial accounting. Okay. How are we doing? We're not doing too bad. We're not doing too bad. Any questions, comments, concerns, random thoughts about any of this stuff? Sir?
We do need to know the operating leverage and margin efficiency ratio, those last two.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
So we do.
Yes, you do. If they're in here, you got to know it. Thank you for asking. David, how are you? Oh, wait, just barely. You were staring off into space at the moment I called your name, which is why I said hi. Because, you know, I want you learning now, because that just means less studying later, right? The more you get memorized now, less studying later. Okay. So, Nick, what's a relevant cost?
Cost that has to do with what you're.
So what definition did I give you in class?
I'm trying to do with that can be avoided.
A cost that is can be avoided. A cost that is avoidable. That is a relevant cost. What's a sunk cost, Nathan, by definition? Money already is spent, or a cost already incurred. Tony, is it relevant or sunk costs relevant? Page 97. Are sunk costs relevant? No. Correct answer. Mr. Waller, what's an opportunity cost?
Opportunity cost is what you have to give up to get something else.
That is the long version. And it's an accurate long version. Tyler, what's the short version?
Potential benefit.
A potential benefit foregone. And they're both correct. They're both correct. The long version, which is, you know, what you give up to get the choice that you made, and you can just say it a little more quickly, a potential benefit foregone. Fewer words to write down or memorize if that's what you're trying to do. Is that relevant, TJ? Are opportunity costs relevant? Yeah? Maybe? No? I only thought there were two answers to that question, and he has given me three. Yes, maybe, no. You're paying attention to my facial expressions again, aren't you?
No, that was him.
That was him. Well, I thought maybe, you know, you're see, you don't know? Are opportunity costs relevant?
Yes.
Denise, what do you think?
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are. See how she said that? How confidently she said it? Now you know. TJ, I hope you don't have to memorize that for the final, or for the exam. Or the final. Or the final, because it will be on the final, actually. The final's partly cumulative, and that's one of the cumulative areas. So TJ, are opportunity costs relevant?
Yes.
Yes! Now, you got it? Awesome. I'm trying to make the the pain of memorization just as light as possible. Right, Kathy? Sure, I'm trying. Maybe, you know, whether or not I'm being successful or not, I am trying. Do you have anything memorized at all that we've learned this semester so far? Your name, but that's not, I mean, that will actually, I mean, it will help. That will be helpful to add your name to your exam so that I can give you points. So that is a very good thing to know. Is there anything else from the content, from the course material is there anything that you have memorized already?
Well, I thought I did till we started going through this, and I'm lost again.
Oh,
I'll recover.
okay. Do you know what